in on us today. Couple things if you want to have by your side. So first and foremost, a nice sturdy chair. I have mine back there. Preferably not like a rolly chair or anything like that that's going to get away from you. We want something that's going to be nice and sturdy for you. If you want to, you can also have a towel nearby, especially if you have a chair like mine that's all wooden. Sometimes it's a little harsh on your knees and your back. So if you want to, you can have a towel nice and handy as well. We're going to get started here. I want to go over a little bit about the format today. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off with a nice little warm up. So we're going to start with some upper body, lower body, a little bit of core. Then we're going to start into some lower body type of things. We're going to work onto upper body, and we're going to incorporate our core. And then we're going to finish up with a nice little cool down towards the end of class. I always want to welcome you to use the chat function. So we have a chat function to the side if you're not familiar with Zoom. All your questions can be anonymous. I have no problem doing that. Throughout class, if you have any questions or comments, anything like that, just feel free to jot them down into that chat function, and we'll have an open forum type of conversation at the end. I usually allot about 5 minutes for that. All right, so if y'all are ready to get started, I am too. Let me just angle my camera back there. All right. All right, so we have our chairs in front of us, and the first thing we're going to do today, I'm going to get my handy dandy stopwatch here. We're going to do a nice gentle quad stretch. So what we're going to do, you can use your chair for a little bit of support, and you're just going to pull your leg in towards your butt, and we're just going to hold that for about 30 seconds. If that is a little bit too harsh on your knees, another option is you can use your chair, just straddling the one corner and then just leaning in a little bit with it. You're still going to get that quad stretch, but it's going to be less intense on your knees. All right, so your version of your quad stretch, we're going to do 30 seconds. Ready? And go. We're going to do a lot of activities today. They're going to be really lower body friendly, so we want to make sure we stretch out a decent amount so that way we don't end up with some sore muscles later in the day. All right, we got about 10 more seconds on this leg, then we're going to switch over to the other leg. Remember, your version of whatever gentle quad stretch you want. 3, 2, 1, good. Drop it down. Whatever leg you started off with, switch to the other leg. Remember to use that chair for a little bit of support if you need to. 30 seconds and go. I always want to make sure to stretch out the lower extremities whenever we do a lot of work, especially sitting down in a chair, because you want to make sure that you have that blood flowing and you get a little bit of muscle activity down in the lower extremities, especially if you're sitting for long periods of time. You want to make sure to keep doing those activities. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, beautiful. Now that our quads are nice and stretched out, we're going to stretch out the back side of our body. So we're going to do our hamstrings next. I'm going to give you 2 options for this one. Option number 1, we have our chair out in front of you. All you're going to do is you're going to put your heel on the chair and you're going to lean forward. If that one's a little too harsh on the lower back, don't panic. All you got to do is you're going to have your legs about a little wider than shoulder width apart, hinging at your hips. You're just going to lean yourself forward and you're going to be stretching that way. All right, so your version of your hamstring stretch, we're going to start 30 seconds. Let me get my timer here. Ready? And go. This one is a great stretch, either option, because they're really low impact on the lower spine, as well as they're really not too harsh of a stretch. Sometimes whenever you have stretches, they go really deep and you're trying to push yourself towards your lower extremities. This one is a way that you can raise your leg up towards you, and it makes it a little bit more effective. It's also a great way to work on balance too. 3, 2, 1, beautiful. Put that leg down, other leg goes up, or you can do another set of the straddling stretch that we talked about earlier. Ready? And go, 30 seconds. With the hamstring stretch, I always want to make sure to emphasize, you want to have a little bit of a micro bend to your knee at all times. Otherwise, you're going to hyperextend your knee and it's not going to feel too pretty on the back side of your body. So just a little bit of a bend at all times. That way it reduces some of that pressure built up on the back of your leg. Good. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. So both feet are going to be on the floor right now. Now we're going to do a lateral stretch. Later on in the class, we're going to work on our core, and we want to make sure to stretch it out accordingly. So this next stretch is going to hit those obliques on the sides of our body. We're going to have our left hand supporting with the chair, right hand going up towards the ceiling. Now with this one, we're not going to be leaning towards the left side, otherwise it puts a little bit of strain on the back. We're going to reach our arm up towards the ceiling and then reach and keep on reaching straight up into that ceiling. All right, so 30 seconds, let me get my timer here. Ready? Supporting with that left hand. Remember, right hand is going up towards the ceiling, and we're just gonna reach. And go, 30 seconds. I always tell people the easiest way to remember this is, remember if you were younger, you were trying to reach on the top of your cupboard to try to get a cup or a plate down or even a toy, and just reaching and stretching. It feels really good on the right side of the body right now. Whenever we switch to the left side, you're going to notice a little bit of a difference too. Sometimes you'll notice you're tighter on one side versus the other. That just means you got to work on stretching it out, or you're just holding a little bit too much pressure on that side of your body. Good. 3, 2, 1. Lower right hand down. Left arm is going to come up now. And like I said, we can support with the right side of the body at this point. All right, 30 seconds. Ready? And go. Same thing. Left arm comes up, and we're just reaching. We're not leaning. And this way is a great way to stretch out basically the entire left side of the body. Whenever we did the right side, you probably noticed a nice stretch going all the way down the body. Super low impact on the spine as well. And it's a great way you can do this. You can even do this sitting down if you wanted to at work. If you just want to get a nice little cool stretch to get a whole body stretch, this one is a great option. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Drop that arm down. Now we're going to do chest expansion and contraction. If you've been in my class before, you might remember this one. What we're going to do is expansion. We're going to have our arms behind us. Chest is going up towards the ceiling. And we're just going to open our chest up. And then contraction, we're going to arch our shoulders forward, and we're going to push almost like we're reaching for something in front of us. All right, so we're going to do one set of 5 with this one. So 1, 2, all the way to 5. Feel free to go on your own time. You don't have to keep up with me. This one is a great stretch, especially for you that are working at home right now, because the shoulders always want to come forward. All right, so one set of 5. Ready? We're going to start with expansion. And go. So holding that position for a few seconds. Good. And then contraction. If anyone's done a yoga class before, this might look similar to cat-cows. And this one is a great alternative, especially if it's harsh on your knees to get down onto the ground. Because you're doing the same concept. You're opening the shoulders, releasing the chest from any pressure, as well as just getting a little bit of blood flow. Good, finishing up on the last one. Opening and closing off that chest. Good, shake it out a little bit. Last stretch we're gonna do is chair crossovers. So what we're gonna do, the goal is not to get over the chair. This is just one alternative. If it's a little bit too much pressure on your legs or your hips, your back, anything like that, feel free to do little crossovers, mini crossovers I talk about. So crossovers, what we're going to do is we're going to have our right leg first, and we're going to cross over the chair and come on back. That's going to be 1. Like I said, option to mini crossover as well. Just make sure whichever option you choose, make sure your hips are staying nice and even. We don't want to be leaning, otherwise it puts a little bit too much pressure on our spine. All right, so we're going to do one set of 5 for each leg. We're going to do starting with the right leg first, then we're going to be switching over to the left leg. All right, so ready? Whichever crossover works for you. And go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, keep it up. Last one. And 5. Beautiful. Shake it out a little bit. Same thing, but now we're gonna do with the left leg. Option to always do the mini crossovers as well. All right, so left leg, same thing. Ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, good, last one, and 5. Beautiful, shake it out a little bit. Now we're gonna work on our upper body. So first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna be sitting down in our chair, but we're not gonna be leaning or slouching. We're gonna be sitting almost to the edge of the chair, and our back is gonna be nice and straight here, all right? So the first exercise we're gonna do is arm circles. So you're gonna have your hands by your side, almost as if you were making a T with your body. So we're making that T, and we're gonna do arm circles. So as big of arm circles as you wanna do today, more power to you. If you wanna make big arm circles, little arm circles, remember this is your workout. So what we're gonna do, making that T, we're gonna start going forward to 10, and then we're gonna go back to 10. All right, so ready? Arms to the side, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we're going backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Shake it out a little bit. Now we're going to do something a little bit similar. We're going to actually bend ourselves forward a little bit, making sure our spine stays nice and straight. So we're not going to be slouched over. We're going to make sure our shoulders are back and down the entire time. That helps keep your spine nice and in alignment. So we're just going to bend forward just a little bit. We're going to have our arms by our side, and we're going to make little cactus arms. So if I'm looking at you, we're going to go to the front and forward, almost as if we're making a goalpost with our arms. All right, so we're going to do one set of 10 of those. Ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, good, keep it up, 9, and 10, beautiful, shake it out a little bit. Next exercise we're gonna work on are dips. So we're gonna show you 2 different versions of dips. The first one's gonna be a little bit easier, second one a little bit more advanced. If you're not comfortable doing dips on the chair, do not panic. Just find your nearest wall and you can do your dips on something a little bit more stationary. All right? So the first one we're gonna do, I'm sitting at the edge of my chair right now, and my arms are right by my side. We're not winging our arms. Arms are nice and close to the body at all times. This one is called an inverted tabletop dip. So what we're gonna do, our knees are bent the whole time, core engaged, and we're gonna drop ourselves down, pick ourselves up, making sure the shoulders stay back and down the entire time. After that one is done, we're gonna go option to do inverted dips. So inverted plank dips, we're gonna have those arms straight, hips are up towards the ceiling a little bit more, and we're gonna drop it down. So a little bit more advanced, option to always go against the wall. All right, so your version of dips, I'm gonna do the inverted tabletop. We're gonna do 10 each. Ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Shake it out a little bit. Now, option to always go into the inverted plank ones. You can always do those against the wall as well. I'm personally going to go to the wall just because I want to make sure you guys can see me on these ones. All right, so if you're sitting in your chair, feet are out in front of you, knees nice and straight, hips activated up towards the ceiling, so that way we have a nice straight line in your body. All right, so inverted, or you can stick with the dips that we did before, the tabletop. Option to always go against the wall. Ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Beautiful. Shake it out a little bit. Now we're going to work on our core. So core, we're going to start with some mountain climbers. Option to always do these against the wall. Basically, you're going to be doing exactly what we did with the planks, but flipping yourself over and driving your knee into your chest, just like that. Option to do it with the chair as well. So if we are doing it on the chair, we're facing the chair, making sure we are nice and stable, and we're going to bring our knees straight into our chest. So we're going to drive our knee into our chest and back down. All right? So we're going to do 30 seconds, your version of mountain climbers, whichever one you feel comfortable with doing today. 30 seconds, and go. Mountain climbers, especially these types of versions where you're not down on the floor, are really good for your core, but they're not super harsh on your shoulders, which is awesome. Halfway there, keep going. Good. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Shake it out. Now we're going to be sitting back in our chair. We're going to do some Russian twists. Russian twists aren't real big, heavy movements. What we're going to do is we're going to be facing away from our chair. So the back side of our chair is behind us, leaning back just a little bit, not actually touching the chair. Option to elevate the feet or keep them down on the floor. And all you're going to do is cupping your hands, you're going to rock your elbows side to side. All that's moving is your thoracic spine, the upper portion of your spine. This part down here doesn't have a whole lot of movement. All right, so we're going to do 1 set of 10 Russian twists. Like I said, option to elevate your feet as well. I'm going to keep mine down for this one. Ready? 1 set of 10 and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Now, as we're sitting in this position, next exercise we're going to do is bicycles. So bicycles, you're going to be leaning back just how we were, just a little bit. Legs are going to go straight out in front of you, almost as if you were riding a bicycle. If that's a little too harsh on the lower back, don't panic. All I want you to do in that case is you're going to lift your legs up and down, just like if you were doing some marches. All right, so your version of bicycles, 30 seconds, ready, and go. So make sure you're breathing with this one. It's real easy to try to hold your breath and doesn't make it real comfortable for your lower extremities. Good, halfway there. Five more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Shake it out. Next exercise we're going to do, we're going to work on some side crunches. So I'm going to move my chair here so you can see me a little bit better. First side crunch we're going to do, we're going to be standing. Option to have a little bit of support on the left side of your body. We're going to do the right side first. All right, so standing, we're going to have our supported system on the left side of our body. Our right arm is going to go straight up like we did with those lateral stretches in the beginning of class. And we're going to drive our elbow and our knee together and then straighten them back up. The second set we're going to do, option to always do that one again. Second set, we're actually going to be kneeling on our chair here. I'm going to get my towel for a little bit of support because my chair is a little bit hard. And then our second set, we're going to be doing almost an X pattern. So we're going to go to the side. always making sure we're leaning against our chair for a little bit of support. All right, so first set, we're gonna raise the right arm up, driving the elbow into the knee. All right, 1 set of 10. Ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Next set, like I said, we're going to be kneeling down on the chair. Option to continue on another set that we just did. All right, X pattern. Ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Beautiful. Same thing, but on the other side. I'm going to move my chair here a little bit. First set, raising that left arm up towards the sky, and then driving that elbow into the knee. All right, ready? 1 set of 10, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, keep it up, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Beautiful. Option to kneel like I'm going to be doing in the X pattern, or continuing on with those straight arms. Ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Beautiful. All right. Now that we worked on our upper body and our core, now it's time to work on our lower body. All right, so first one, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna move my chair here a little bit. Seated hip marches. So remember I said this was an option for the bicycling. It's a little bit lower impact on the lower spine. So what we're gonna do, legs nice and shoulder width apart, shoulders are back and down, and then you're going to lift one leg and then the other, nice and slow. We're not going real fast with these. They're nice and controlled movements. All right, so let me get my handy dandy timer here. 30 seconds, and go. This is a great way to get those lower body muscles moving, as well as getting some blood flow. Whenever you're working for long hours in front of the computer, sitting down, you want to make sure to get a little bit of movement in the lower extremity. Otherwise, you start to get really stiff, and sometimes it gets really uncomfortable. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Shake it out. Next one, what we're going to do is squats. We're going to be standing up. Chair is going to be behind us at this point. Now, the goal is not to go down and sit in the chair. The chair is just there for a little bit of support in case we go a little bit too far down. So with a squat, what we're going to do is we're going to be sitting back almost like we're sitting in a chair. And you want to make sure you can always see your toes at all times. If we're not, that means we're putting our knees a little bit too far forward. Then we're going to have a little bit of pain in the front of our knees. So sitting back with our arms and shoulders back and down, sitting back and going forward. All right, we're going to do 1 set of 5 of those, and then we're going to do some split squats as another option. All right, so chairs right behind us. I like to personally cup my hands. You can keep them down by your side if you'd like. Ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, 5. Beautiful. Option to continue on with these types of squats, as well as you don't have to go all the way back. If you want to do little mini squats, options to do that as well. Split squats. We're gonna have our right leg and it's just gonna be up on the chair, almost to the point where it's sitting in the front of the chair here, not all the way back to where the back of the chair is. So split squats, option to do regular squats as well. We're just gonna do the same thing, but one leg is gonna be elevated. Then we're gonna switch over to the left leg. So right leg up, option to continue on with standard squats. Ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, 5, beautiful. Right leg down, left leg up, same thing, option to continue on with standard squats. Ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, and 5, beautiful, shake it out. Next one, what we're gonna do is calf raises. So I'm gonna have my chair here for a little bit of support. And what we're gonna do is shoulders back and down the entire time. We don't wanna be rounding those shoulders and keeping ourselves forward. We're gonna go up on our tiptoes and then come back down, nice and easy. This isn't a real fast exercise. You wanna make sure to be nice and slow so that way you're feeling these muscles. All right, 1 set of 10. Ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful, shake it out. Last exercise before we go into our cool down, we're gonna do some hip four-ways. So what we're gonna do is our first one, our hips are gonna be going forward, leg nice and straight. After that, we're gonna be going out to the side. After that, we're gonna be going backwards. And last one, we're gonna cross our leg in front of our other leg, almost as if we were kicking a soccer ball. All right, so legs forward first. We're gonna be doing 1 set of 5 each. All right, so using our left arm as a little bit of a supporter, or you can keep it to the right side. Either way is perfectly fine for this one. We're gonna go nice and straight with our leg, keeping the hips nice and even at all times. We don't wanna lean because that puts a little bit too much pressure on the spine. Shoulders back and down, ready? And go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, good. Other leg, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful. Moving to the side, we're gonna go out. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Same thing, other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now keeping back like this. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Last one, sweeping across the body, almost as if we were kicking a soccer ball. 1 set of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same thing, other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. Now, as we move into our cool down, we're going to have the back side of our chair for this stretch. It's called a T stretch. It's going to open that chest up a little bit and stretch out the shoulders off, and it's going to feel really, really good. All right, so what we're going to do is arms are going to be folded in front of us, just like this, and they're going to sit right on the back of the chair. Shoulders back and down, and nice flat back the entire time. If you want to stay here, you feel a nice stretch, perfectly fine. Option to just dip the head down towards the floor a little bit. Holding that position for 30 seconds. Let me get my handy dandy timer here. Ready? And go. 30 seconds. This is a great stretch, especially if you've been working a few hours straight and you feel like your shoulders are really, really tight. This is a great way to kind of open them up in a nice, low impact, non-aggressive type of stretching. Good, 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, beautiful. Shake it out a little bit. Now we're going to be sitting in the front of our chair again. So not all the way back in the chair so that we have our back against the rest, but just on the edge of that chair. We're going to do a pigeon stretch now, sitting pigeon stretch. So sometimes this is a little bit harsh on the knees. If you feel a little bit of discomfort, option to always just dip your leg out and just externally rotate that leg. If it's comfortable for you, you can figure 4, just like this, across the leg. All right, so either way, you're gonna get a nice stretch of your piriformis muscle. So we're gonna do that right leg first. Like I said, option to just externally rotate your leg. If it's not uncomfortable for you, option to figure 4. Ready? And go. 30 seconds with the right leg, then we're gonna switch over to the left leg. I love giving this stretch out to people because it stretches out a muscle in the back side of your body called your piriformis. It helps open your hips up a little bit, so it's a nice hip opener. But it's also really good because your piriformis muscle sometimes hits against your sciatic nerve, causing a little bit of discomfort in the nerve in the back side of your leg. So this helps open it up a little bit and gets it a little bit of breathing space. 3, 2, 1, good. Right leg down, left leg up, same thing, 30 seconds, and go. There's a lot of different ways to do a pigeon stretch. There's a standing one, sitting, standard, as well as a supine. So you're sitting on you're laying down on your back, bringing your legs to you. Each way is going to get you that nice stretch where you're just opening your hips up a little bit, giving that piriformis some stretching space, as well as that sciatic nerve on the back side of your body. 3, 2, 1, beautiful. Relax. Next stretch we're going to do, we're going to open our hips up just a little bit, and we're going to raise our right arm up towards the ceiling and lean over just a little bit. What this is going to do is it's going to stretch out a muscle in your back called your quadratus lumborum. It's a really tight muscle sometimes in the back side of your spine. So this way is a nice way to open up that spine, as well as doing it in a low impact way. All right, so what we're going to do, right arm up towards the ceiling like we were doing before, and just a little bit of a lean towards the left side of our body. 30 seconds, and go. I always call this one a QL stretch because quadratus lumborum is a really, really hard thing to say sometimes. But what this is going to do is it's going to open up the sides of your body. So you're going to feel a nice stretch on the sides, just like we were doing with those side crunches before. But it's a really low impact stretch. It's not really harsh or violent. And that way it's really, really nice to help open yourself up a little bit to the sides of your body. 3, 2, 1, right arm comes down, left arm up, same thing, and go. 30 seconds. You can also do this one if you're standing up too. I like to do it while I'm sitting down because that way my hips are going to stay nice and in alignment, and I'm not going to feel like I'm toppling over. So it's a nice way to kind of stabilize yourself as you're stretching out. Good. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Stretch it out a little bit. Last exercise we're going to do in our cool down is we're going to do a gentle lunge. So before, I told you could do this as a gentle quad stretch as well. So if I'm in the front side of the chair, I'm just going to rotate myself a little bit to the right. My left leg is back, right leg is forward, and you're just going to do a modified lunge stretch. So just stretching out, making sure the shoulders are back and down, and back is nice and straight with this one. All right, 30 seconds. Ready? And go. This way is a great way to stretch out the lower portion of your body, but it's also really good for a lunge position, especially if you're having trouble with your knees or your ankles, if they don't necessarily feel the most stable. It's a great way to get that stretch, but not put a lot of pressure on the lower portion of your body. Beautiful. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Good. Transferring to the left side. This time, that right leg is going back, left leg is going forward. Same thing. Ready? And go. 30 seconds. If you feel like you're a little bit tight in the upper portion of your body, option to always go up with your shoulders as if you were doing a crescent lunge in yoga. That was a great way to help open up your chest as well as get a nice little stretch in your shoulders. Good. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Relax. All right. I want to thank y'all so much for joining us today for our chair strengthening class. I really hope you enjoyed it, as well as got a couple little tidbits out of our routine that you can join in on your own exercise regimen. So if you have any questions, you can always put your questions in the chat window and we can go over those. We have a little bit of time to do an open forum type situation. So I hope you guys had a really good time. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.